Alright, what's going on? It's Juvenile Prince, and usually I don't make these type of videos when it comes to my channel. You know, I like to upload the typical creation showcase or one of my many SVR vids I'm playing through. But I thought I'd change that because for the past 6 months there's been a question that's weighing heavy on my mind. Exactly what is going on with WWE 2K? So far when it comes to this year's installment WWE 2K24, this year must be considered one of the wildest rollercoaster rides I've seen outside of this garbage. But not only that, the number of repeated fumbles this year has started with comedy and gradually became frustrating. I mean, I could go on and on, but from the initial Bailey reveal to bugs seen at launch, the ban to what's the status, to bugs added after certain patches, to the busted online, and what I deem to be the most outrageous, the lack of communication from the development team. Instead of communicating that they're working to address the issues that players are dealing with, like the online servers, the logo swapping glitch, or the eye morphing bug, they'd rather remain radio silent on these matters, or worse, just come off looking bad when they do decide to tweet. This leads me to another question. Where is the passion when it comes to WWE 2K24? Recently, I've been playing a ton of wrestling games behind the scenes, and one thing I noticed when playing those games is that you can tell the development team was passionate about what they were bringing to the table. With that passion, it pretty much led to an overall amazing gaming experience that is admired and respected. But in 2K24, I'm gonna be honest, this game truly lacks the love and passion that the games from the past had. You get a sense outside of a few people who work there that the team lacks the love and passion when creating these modern wrestling games. Let me take it back real quick. There is passion in this game, it just comes in the form of MyFaction. With every patch this game has seen, 90% of the updates and fixes have been for this mode, and it's honestly disappointing. Until recently when they released Scott Steiner 98 and he was broken beyond belief. I'm not gonna lie, I felt two ways when I heard about this situation. Number one, I felt remorse for those who put in the hours grinding to lock Big Papa Pump just for him to be basically useless. And number two, I was laughing my butt off because it goes with what I said earlier. 2K24 continues to fumble. Honestly, it's gotten to a point where it's hard for me to find any enjoyment in playing 2K24. I should be bouncing off the walls or pop locking with excitement because of the release of the recent Global Stars DLC pack. To a degree, I am. You know, playing with that beautiful sister, Jade Cargill, and seeing how the community has blessed her with some alternate appearances is truly remarkable. You know, using Dragon Lee produced a few bangers for me. Kairi Sane is kind of my personal favorite to use. And having Nia Jax back in the series, you know, the "She's your queen to me" is very good to see. But the issues that continue to plague 2K24 have been bothering me to the point where I just have to talk about it, ramble about it, and just get it off my chest. Ladies and gentlemen, and the 0 people watching, these are my issues with WWE 2K24. To kick things off, one of the reasons for this video is the online and its server. When it comes to the online aspect of the WWE games, there's nothing more I love and still love than heading over to community creations and downloading my favorite wrestlers and arenas to use in exhibition. In all my years of downloading, and I'll admit the past WWE 2K games had their own server issues, but in 2K24, the online server is absolutely ludicrous. The amount of times I've seen this error appear, especially this past week alone, is insane. To set up an example, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw that What's the Status had uploaded a 2009 version of MVP and thought that he'd be perfect for my Ruthless Aggression roster. So I downloaded him and I thought that this would be a good time to download some more Ruthless Aggression stars. Jesus Herman Christ, was I wrong. People, there were times when I could go to the next page on community creations and the server would disconnect. I could be in the middle of a download and the server randomly disconnects. I'm serious when I say this. You can be at the title screen, enter the game, and be greeted by the server error message. Like what? How is that even possible? This right here has been my experience this past week. Pretty much any action I took would cause the server to throw me out like I'm Jazzy Jeff from The Fresh Prince. Seeing this error message not once in a while but back to back in this manner is terrible to where literally I said screw it and stopped playing. Like after dealing with this, what incentive is there to continue? You would think that living in 2024, online servers would be running smoothly, without a hitch, without hiccups, especially from a company like 2K. As I said before, these games have had issues with their servers for as long as I can remember, and 2K24 severely dropped the ball. Continuing with the term incentive, this mode was honestly one of the reasons I'd buy a new WWE game every year, and that is of course the showcase mode. Oh my god. Never in my life have I seen such a beloved game mode decline as bad as Showcase mode. Now, I'm probably gonna sound like an unk, but I remember back in the day when this mode had dedication, passion, just overall effort placed into it. It was cool being able to play through moments I grew up with and relive them in the video game world. Like CM Punk walking out with the WWE Championship in 2K15, chef's kiss. The final round between Stone Cold and The Rock in 2K16, chef's kiss. Even moments that happened before my time, or in this case, months before my birth. To this day, I haven't seen such a bad moment like Kane's debut in WWE 13. Seeing this 12 years later, damn, I'm getting old. It's just, chef's kiss. With 2K24, you can replace what I just said with the words laziness, repetitiveness, and just outright tediousness because that's the perfect way to describe it. The presentation, lazy. This year's showcase follows the exact same format as 2K22's and 2K23's, which is devoid of actual commentary, the usage of YouTube royalty-free music, and what gives me an insane amount of hypertension, the use of slingshot tech. Until I find or am given actual reasoning as to why it's used, slingshot tech is the laziest workaround into not creating actual in-game cutscenes. Like honestly, what is the point of this? To bring you closer to the action or make you feel like you're a part of the match? Oh, look at me, I'm a part of the match. Like no, it just doesn't work. Every time the transition from in-game to archive footage happens, I'm immediately taken out of the game, and it shouldn't be like that. If I wanted to watch the match, then I'll go to Peacock and watch the match. At least there you won't have the censorship of faces and logos being blurred. Now the whole idea of a video game is to capture and have the full undivided attention of the player, you know? You don't want the player to miss something crucial with what it is you're presenting. But importantly, you shouldn't give players a reason to want to get up and be like, now's a good time to make a sandwich, oh baby baby. Oh my goodness, which 2K24 gives you the chance to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the majority of these scenes just go on for way too long, and I'm not talking about a minute or even 3 minutes, but damn near 6 minutes. This obviously goes to The Rock and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 17, which is a match that I actually like, and of course 2K24 found a way to make me despise it. From the length of that particular cutscene to the blurring of pretty much everything in sight and the objectives, honestly, I want to keep this as short as possible due to the PTSD I have suffered after playing Showcase this year. But these objectives are repetitive. I swear, all these objectives are the exact same. They want you to complete like 18 commands which are mind-boggling the same thing. Perform a light combo. Perform a combo ending with B. Grab your opponent by the steps. And the less said about the compass description of performing an Irish whip, the better. My goodness, 2K, if you take anything away from this rambling, please just return to the traditional ways of making a 2K showcase. Have the entrances include commentary from Michael Cole and Corey Graves, Jerry King, Jerry DeLawler if possible, and actually recreate the cutscenes using the in-game engine. Because I'll give credit, WWE 2K24 graphically looks phenomenal, and in those seconds before and after a cutscene happens, you can clearly see how stunning 2K24 is. For me, when I saw the iconic stare down between Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3, I was honestly mesmerized. Seeing the 80s filter along with the WrestleMania 3 arena truly creates a nice ambience. Plus, it would have been nice to see the graphics constantly be center stage, especially during the cutscenes. It's crazy because it's out there that 2K can create and replicate the cutscenes, but just aren't fully committed to going all the way. Shame, man. Finally, this is an issue that I've seen a glimpse of in my copy of the game, but I've seen it affect others in worse ways than myself, and that is the bugs. Now when 2K24 was released, there were a few bugs on my end, like entrances being broken for custom wrestlers with everything being dark in the arena, the ring announcer repeating himself repeatedly, Daniel Bryan's entrance having the crowd throw up the ones instead of the yes chants, and whatever this is. Now I call this the Matrix due to the colors trying to enter our reality, but this seemed to happen a lot when I used a hair dye tool and create a wrestler. While 2K was working to and did fix these bugs, they continued their timely tradition of fixing a problem but at the same time adding a new problem. You see, in 2K23, one of the running jokes of that game was every time 2K would update and patch 2K23, Hollywood Hogan would randomly always lose his mustache and hair. Now the team would quickly fix him up, but once the next big patch was released and downloaded onto your console, you get the picture. But with everything else I've said about the other issues with 2K24 finding a way to make everything 20 times worse, the bugs aren't the exception. The number of times a patch would drop and completely break something perfectly fine makes no sense. Currently, for someone who likes to create and cover other creators' creations, the bugs in some ways sort of hindered that for me. The two that have been ruining my experience are the bald glitch and most recently the content damage glitch. When it comes to the bald head glitch, I understand the reasoning behind the patch that caused this, and at the same time I disagree with it, but also at the same time you're playing with people's expectations. Because right now, if you were to go to community creations and download any wrestler on there, there's a small chance that the wrestler could appear looking like Michael Cobb from My Wife and Kids. There's no warning, no message. You either have to confirm it on your own by editing the wrestler or playing with the wrestler in a match. For me, it wasn't that long ago when I wanted to do a creation showcase video, and I wanted to showcase Ivory since she's one of my favorites. I found one on community creations that was created by Go Getter. The preview seemed to indicate that all was well, and I proceeded to download her. Now if you've seen my showcase videos, which is probably nobody, then you know that I like to give every creation model a 360 spin, and I was going to do the same for Ivory. So I go in to get the footage, and if anybody has been wondering, which is probably nobody once again, about the lack of creation showcase videos, this is what I've been dealing with behind the scenes. The number of videos that I had to delete early on because of this bug honestly made me mad. Because I knew that I wasn't fully showcasing what these creators intended their creations to be. And I'm telling you, these creators literally put in the effort from the face scan, the tattoos, and logos. Like, they're going crazy when it comes to these calls. And I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I couldn't properly showcase a creation from head to toe. Shout out to Lisa. Plus, if I did upload these videos, people are going to ask me what's going on with the characters' heads. Which pretty much has me going like, oh, God. But this latest patch 1.20 introduced a bug I thought would never affect me, and that is the content damage bug. And not in the sense that I download a creation and I get the error, but the error itself is attached to my very own creations. This made me say, what the f***? Because my creations are bare bones and simple. There's nothing additional like mods or hacks or whatever. Like at this point, WWE 2K24 is a confusing game. WWE 2K in general is just confusing. Like honestly, speaking for myself, this year has been such a letdown. Now there are other issues that I find bothersome, like character models being inaccurate. Seriously, whoever worked on these three need to be jailed ASAP. The AI during matches giving me the fight of my life, but at other times performing stupid decisions. The constant crashing and create a superstar. And the individuals I consider to be the worst form of NPC in a video game, the referees. It's gotten to a point, with the way that these issues have been the norm in these games, that it's gotten difficult to care about this series. This is hard for me to say because this is a series I've been playing for the majority of my life, and to see it like this pushes me closer to calling it quits on the franchise. Matter of fact, I think I'm done. I'm done.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.